tissue, yesterday we have seen, yesterday I said you there are three types of connective tissue. One is connective tissue proper, second one is skeletal connective tissue, and third one is fluid connective tissue. So yesterday we have completed proper connective tissue proper. In skeletal connective tissue, I said you about cartilage. So today we'll discuss about bone. If time permits, we'll discuss blood also. Okay. So let's get started. Bone. Bone is composed of cells which are called as osteoblasts. These cells secrete fibers. Which fibers they secrete? They secrete fibers. Bone is not a flexible tissue, it's a tough tissue. So what do you think the fibers that are present in this? Elastic fibers or collagenous fibers? Here also collagenous fibers are present. Collagenous fibers are present. Okay, you can ask me one question. Yesterday I said cartilage is flexible, but still collagenous fibers are present. That flexibility of cartilage is not because of presence of fibers, but the so what I was saying is the flexibility of the cartilage tissue. This yesterday we discussed the first type of skeletal connective tissue is cartilage tissue. In that also collagenous fibers only are present. Why is it hard? The hardness, why is it flexible? Why is it not hard? The flexibility of cartilage is not because of fibers, because of the matrix. I said you there the matrix is chondroitin sulfate. That is a rubber-like matrix. It's not tough matrix. That matrix provides flexibility, but it's not because of collagen. In bone, matrix is also hard. Fibers are also tough. So what is the matrix made up of? Matrix is made up of mucopolysaccharides. Mucopolysaccharides is a proteoglycan. Okay, it is a proteoglycan. It is very hard, tough, very hard, very tough. Along with this, matrix also has, along with mucopolysaccharides, matrix also has inorganic substances in them. So bone is made up of calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate. You might have studied, right? So yeah, carbonates, phosphates, fluorides of magnesium, potassium, sodium, calcium. That means magnesium phosphate, potassium carbonate or phosphate or fluoride, sodium carbonate, sodium phosphate, sodium fluoride, calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate, calcium fluoride, like that. That combinations are present. Structure of bone. If you observe the structure of bone, suppose let us take this is a bone. I am cutting this bone transversely like this. TS, LS, longitudinal section of bone. If I cut and observe this portion, there are some canals in between. So, not this much broad also, very minute canals are present. These canals that are present inside the bone are called as Haversian canals. Haversian canals. What is present in this canal? One artery is present. Artery means the blood vessel that carries oxygenated blood to the bone. Second, one vein is present. Vein is the blood vessel that takes deoxygenated blood away from the bone towards the heart. One lymph vessel is present that carries the fluid. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Lymph vessel is present that carries the Lymphatic fluid. What is this lymphatic fluid? We'll learn after skeletal connective tissue. Next, one nerve is present. So these are the four components that are present inside the Haversian canal. These Haversian canals are interconnected by some canals. These are called as Waxman's canals. Waxman's canals. Okay, these canals are named after the person who discovered them. Haversian discovered Haversian canals. Waxman discovered Waxman's canal. So if you observe the TS, it is like this. So if you, LS, it is like this. Let us observe the TS of only one small portion. Like this is one Haversian canal. Around this, what is there, we'll discuss. This small portion. This around this Haversian canal, what is present? There will be some matrix that is deposited in concentric circles. This matrix that is deposited in concentric circles is called as lamella. 1, 2, 3. Okay. These all are called as lamella. 1 lamella, 2, 3. Okay. Over this borders of this lamella, there are some small structures called as lacuna. Lacuna is small spaces. This is lacuna. Inside this lacuna, what is present? Fluid is present and cells. These cells are not histoblasts, they are histocytes. What is difference between histoblasts and histocytes? When the cell is formed newly inside the bone, it is called as histoblast. It has capacity to produce fibers. When it becomes mature, it is called as histocytes. At that time, it cannot produce fibers. So this is mature form of histoblast. Mature form of histoblast. Right. From these small lacunae, again small branches of canal-like structures will erupt. Okay. So if you draw a big lacunae, it looks like a small canal that is coming out. When I am drawing here, it's a single line. It's a small canal. It's a small canal. So histiocytes are what cells? They are macrophages. They help in engulfing the foreign particles. So for protection into the matrix also, these cells, the liquid need to pass through this canaliculi. These canal-like structures are called as canaliculi. Okay. So for every lacunae there is branches. There are branches like this, which are called as canaliculi. So when you observe this cell, this bone, it looks like this, and not only for one lamella, for every lamella this is present. For the inner lamella also there are canaliculi. Lacuna are present, canaliculi are present. For this also there are lacuna is present, and this lacuna is branched to form the canaliculi. So this complete structure now forms one osteon. So this is one east osteon. Yeah, osteon. So, what is present in this? One Haversham canal is present. Around that, lamella are present. Here, three concentric rings. Sometimes more than three will be formed, sometimes less than. Over at the corners of this lamella, we have small lacunae. In this lacunae, we have fluid and histiocytes, and branches of this lacunae are called canaliculi. This entire set is called as osteon. And like this, if you observe the total bone, tiers of bone. So this, let us assume this is the tiers of bone. This is a central gap where bone marrow will be present. So in this you can see those structures. One Haversham canal, around that there are lamellae lacunae, like this. So many Haversham canals are present. So it forms a complete matrix without leaving any gap. It does not leave any gap. Wherever it is possible, it deposits the matrix in the form of concentric rings. You can see that some of the concentric rings are not completing because bone extended till there only. In this way, around every Haversham canal, you can see deposition of matrix. Okay. So like this, bone is like this. So outermost layer of bone has one layer of cells called as this outermost layer of bone is called as periosteum. Periosteum. Innermost layer of this bone is called as endosteum. What it is called as? Endosteum. So this is the structure of bone. First thing you need to understand is longitudinal structure has Haversham canals and Workman's canal. Haversham canal has artery, vein, lymph and nerve. And when you observe one particular Haversham canal, it develops lamella and lacunae, canaliculi around it and forms one osteon. So many such osteons are present in one bone. And the outermost layer of bone is called periosteum, innermost layer of bone is called endosteum. Okay, the structure of bone does not end here. Still we have to discuss. If you take the bone, there is one broader region. After them, that comes the narrower region. This is called as head or epiphysis. This part is called as shaft or hypophysis. Okay. Inside this bone, there is a cavity called as marrow cavity. Marrow cavity, which is filled with bone marrow, which is filled with bone marrow. Bone marrow is not always same color. If you observe near the head region, it is red in color, and at the lower region, it is yellow in color. So this red color bone marrow is called as red marrow, and this yellow color region is called as yellow marrow. Red color region is called as red marrow, yellow color region is called as yellow marrow. Okay. So, what is the difference between this red marrow and yellow marrow? There is some difference. I'll say you what is the difference. Here, this is red in color because of more more blood vessels are distributed here. Blood vessels here. Compared to this region, less blood vessels. What is the function of bone marrow? Bone marrow produces blood cells. All the blood cells, not only RBC, not only WBC, platelets, all the types of blood cells are produced in this bone marrow. But this main region where the blood vessels are produced is this region. Produces more blood cells. That is why it is red in color. Okay. Why this region then? What is the function of this yellow marrow? It also blood cells, produces blood cells, but only in case of emergency. Emergency means what is the emergency for our body? When more red blood cells or more blood cells are dying. There is some infection in our blood, like take for example jaundice or malaria has occurred, blood cells are dying very fast. At that time, our body need to produce more amount of blood cells. So at that time, both red marrow and yellow marrow will work together and produce more amount of blood cells. Right. So that is the difference between red marrow and yellow marrow. Okay. Now, the last thing about bone. Last thing about the structure of bone. Bone, all part of bone is not continuous. Sometimes there are some soft portions in bone called as spongy bone. Spongy bone. Spongy bone is a portion of bone in which matrix have gaps. How these gaps are there? Like sponge has small. So spongy bone is a bone in which matrix have small gaps, like a sponge have gaps inside. Okay, it's not as soft as sponge, but the matrix have gaps. So this matrix is called trabeculum. This has sponge-like appearance but harder than sponge. It's not soft, it's not squeezable like sponge, but it is comparatively soft in nature. Easily broken. When you see people who eat non-veg, I'm saying, you can easily chew this type of bones which are soft. But there is another part of bone called as compact bone. Compact bone has matrix without gaps, without any gaps. So this is hard in nature, very tough. So in which regions the spongy bone is present? Spongy bone is generally present in shaft region. Shaft region means lower region of bone, where we saw bone marrow is present. Compact bone is present in head region or epiphysis region of bone. That means, see, in this diagram, this region has compact bone and this region has spongy bone. Not only this region, you can take some bones like rib cage. Rib cage, there is nothing like the starting point. So there is no head for rib cage. In that bone also spongy bone is present. Okay, some of the bones are completely spongy. Some of the bones have compact part and spongy part. So that is about That is about the structure of both, right? Next, we'll go straight forward into blood. Discussion of blood. So with this, we have completed skeletal tissue. After skeletal tissue, next one is fluid connective tissue, blood. Fluid connective tissue, blood. First one, blood. Blood is a fluid that flows in the blood vessels. And what is present in blood? 90 to 92% of water is present. Remaining is organic substances are present. What are the organic substances that are present in blood? It has some and coagulating factors, blood clotting factors. Blood clotting factors. What are the blood clotting factors that are present in blood? Prothrombin and fibrinogen. These are proteins. There is an anticoagulant protein also. It prevents blood from clotting. This is heparin. So whenever blood vessel is means whenever there is an injury, blood should clot. At that time, prothrombin and fibrinogen will help. When there is no damage in the blood vessel, blood should not clot. At that time, this anticoagulant heparin will maintain. Apart from that, there are blood proteins, albumin and globulin. Albumin and globulin are proteins which give strength to the blood, which helps in functioning of the blood. It's very important. So where these are the two proteins which are found in egg. So that's why you are asked to eat at least one egg per day. Albumin and globulin are the proteins which are found in egg also. Right. If these are organic substances, there are some inorganic substances in the blood. Inorganic substances in blood. These are nothing but ions. What are the ions present? Sodium, chloride, potassium, magnesium, etc. There are so many ions that float inside the fluid of the blood. Apart from this, there are some regulatory factors. What are the regulatory factors or regulatory substances that are present in the blood? Regulatory substances are those substances which use blood as a medium to move from one place to another place. For example, antibodies. Antibodies are produced by WBC and they need to pass to the location by blood only. You take the nutrients, all the nutrients are absorbed into blood and they pass to cells. Carbon dioxide, oxygen also need to pass through the blood. Excretory substances, substances that are waste substances that are produced by each and every cell enter into blood only. Like this, so many hormones, all these etc. We can write all these substances use blood as a medium of transport and they transport in the to the required location. So these are the regulatory substances. So blood is having all these substances. Now let us see, apart from this, blood also has cells. What are the cells that are present in the blood? Blood is blood has plasma part, which is fluid part, and cells. So all the substances we discussed about are dissolved in plasma. Now we'll discuss about cells. Cells, blood cells are three types. First one, RBC or erythrocytes. Second one, WBC or leukocytes. Third one, blood platelets or thrombocytes. Thrombocytes. So we'll discuss red blood cell or erythrocytes. WBC means white blood cells, or leukocytes, platelets or thrombocytes. So we'll study comparatively instead of studying each one separately. If you study comparatively, you can understand better. Okay, time is completed, right? Okay, we'll do this tomorrow. We'll study the types of blood cells. In our next class,